She's back. Hey. Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Noreen. Welcome. So today I'm going to talk about my experience in Nairobi, living there for a little while, 1 year and 7 months. So there's some differences I saw with how Nairobi is and its people compared to Mombasa. So let's dive in. So I wrote some few points that I wanted to share with you guys today. Yeah, I didn't want to be all over the place, so I just had to write some few things that I noticed, some differences between Mombasa and Nairobi. So yeah, so let me start with something not that serious. The weather, oh my goodness, Nairobi weather. I was not born in Mombasa, but I've lived my entire life, I would say. Yeah, so I'm used to the sun, the warm weather, So here in Nairobi, my first time coming, I think after some few days, I found it difficult to breathe. When I was breathing with my nose, the air was too cold, and my nose was really feeling the stress. I don't know how you call it. I had to buy a mask, the one we used to wear during COVID-19 times. I was like, hey, this is serious. And at night, my goodness, I'm not used to sleeping with blankets. In Mombasa, you just sleep with your pajamas or your t-shirt and a short. But Nairobi, no, you can't. You just have, you can't even try, my dear. You can't even try. You have to sleep with not only blankets, but blankets, not even one. Kidding. Yeah, so for me that was the first, it's not like a culture shock, but it was like the difference, because I'm not used to that weather, so I had to adjust. And also living in the house that we're in, it is cold in the house. You have to wear a jumper. You cannot just sit and wear like a spaghetti. I don't know if it was the month that we relocated to, because that was in August. Yeah, so I don't know if it was the month, it's the weather in general. Yeah, so it wasn't easy for me, but I adjusted with time. It was not an issue anymore. Yeah. You guys, you didn't tell me about your matatu situation. You guys, you make a queue, bro. Nairobi. Like, this is the city. Why are you telling me we're making a queue? In Mombasa, there's no queue. You just walk to the matatu station, you just board a matatu. So when I came in Nairobi, I was like, what's not happening? What's going on here? Like, yeah, I was like, this can't be it. But thankfully, or yeah, thankfully, hmm, the good thing is when it's not rush hour, you don't need to make a queue. It's only the rush hour time, which is understood. And then another thing in Nairobi, when you're boarding a mat, you cannot bargain. From town to the place you want to stay, no bargaining. But in Mombasa, sometimes when you're used to a certain conductor, even if they have a certain specific price, you can call them by the side and tell them like, by the way, I can't, this is what I have, and they're like, oh, just board in. But in Nairobi, they've put that price tag on the matatu. When you're when you are getting in, you can just see the price tag there. There's no negotiating when you're from town, that is. But I feel like when you're from your place to town, sometimes you can negotiate when there's no, it's not rush hour. Yeah, but from town, strictly the price, you cannot bargain. If you don't have the money, they leave you there. They're not joking with you. They're here for business. Are you telling them you have no money? If you didn't have money, why were you coming to town? Like, sort yourself, then you come to town. And there's no, it's strictly business. There's no, you get what I mean? Yeah, so I was like, hey. So meaning here in Nairobi, you cannot like risk when it comes to boarding a matatu. You have to like have a certain the amount that you need to move you from one place to another. There's no about mercy. People don't want to hear stories, your stories of I don't know, I don't have me, I don't have what, I don't have this. They don't. They want you to pay, and then they want to do their work as they want to do their work. There's no time for, yeah, I'm talking about when you're in town, that is. But when you're like in the middle of the how can I put it, like in the when they have those stops, I think they are, would I say, more to, they're willing to like listen and like accept the amount that you have. You can negotiate like in those stops they usually have while after coming from town. But in town, yeah, so that was kind of a shock. And another thing is that here in Nairobi we have a lot of manyangas, the like buses, but in Mombasa we don't have buses. The only places we use manyangas is like from town to Kiembeni, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, there are less manyangas compared to Nairobi. Nairobi, there are a lot of manyangas. Matatus are different routes, they use matatus. Yeah, so that's another a difference I saw with Mombasa and Nairobi, about the negotiating of the price and the type of 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 matatus they use. So here they use the big manyangas mostly, and the small matatus for different routes, and they're not that, it depends. There's some places they are many, yeah, but in Mombasa mostly are matatus, the small. So I was used to being in small matatus, but now when I came in Nairobi, you can sit comfortably. There's no need to of kufinyana, what, squeezing kufinyana amjazani. Okay, yeah, people might fill in the manyanga, the ones who there's some this thing, kitu ya kushikilia hapa juu. Sorry for my English speakers. Maybe I might install or put some subtitles, I don't know. Yeah, so yeah, that was the difference I noticed. Hey, town center, Nairobi CBD, my friend. People are not joking, oh. People are busy, left, right. People are men. Like, I don't know where people are flocking from. Like, hey, it's always busy. People moving from one place to another. If you joke around, someone might steal your phone, someone might trick you, someone might knock you, and mind you, they don't tell you sorry. There's a time I was going to town. Yeah, I was in town. I cannot remember which side, which part. Then I was busy walking. I don't know where I was heading to. Then someone just knocked me, and I still was like, hey, madam, kijana, haraka ni ya nini? Like, and they don't stop and tell you sorry. Hey, that's a character development right there. So that was something new, because in Mombasa, the Mombasa CBD, there are not a lot of people. Hakuna watu wengi in the town. In the town, kizungu, my friend, you get what I mean. Yeah, so there's no chance you will get yourself getting hit by someone in town in Mombasa. Yeah, so people are not a lot. Yeah, I think it's also goes to the population. I feel like Nairobi has a lot of population compared to Mombasa, so that's the difference. Hence, the town has a lot of people in it. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I noticed. And also in Nairobi CBD, you have to walk with your pass in front of you. Like, you cannot walk like just walking, minding your business. You have to mind your business and mind your past business. Like, it has to be always in front of you, because you never know when who's watching, you don't know who's looking, who's planning to steal from you, your bag, your phone. So you have to be on toes every time. But in Mombasa, you walk with peace, you walk, you have no rush, you don't think, or maybe someone is going to scam you, you know those stories. Even though there are sometimes some places in town in Mombasa, yeah, you can be scammed, but it's not prevalent when you compare it with Nairobi. You get what I mean? So yeah, that's another difference I saw. It was like, wow, Nairobi will make you be on your toes even if you don't want. Like when you just step out of the matatu or your car and you just step on the soil of the CBD, you have to be always on toes. Your mind should be, your eyes should be looking 360 degrees, and not talking to anyone, because one mistake, you talk to someone, they've done juju for you, they'll take you, you'll be dragged, my friend. So yeah, you can't trust anybody. Yeah. And that will take me to this other point where I noticed that the Nairobi people, they have no, will I call it empathy? Like when you, maybe you're new to Nairobi and you want to ask for directions, no one is willing to tell you. So you have to ask the, either you go to the matatu conductors, the drivers, or you go to the police. Are they called police? Watchmen of the supermarket. How are they called? Yeah, you go and ask them, or you enter a supermarket, or you go, maybe there's a bakery somewhere, you ask them directions of where you want to go, because people here have been scammed a lot, so they really don't trust anyone, because you can't trust. How would you know someone is good or not? How would you know someone is planning to do something bad to you? So that's why they are the way they are compared to Mombasa. Mombasa, you can ask someone and they're willing to show you the way, even though also there are stories where some people have been scammed in Mombasa, like Nairobi, but it's not prevalent. Yeah, you can ask. There's not that fear, like when I ask someone I might be scammed. There's not that fear like when you're in Nairobi. So that's what I noticed in the experience. I'm like, wow, here you can't trust anybody, and you can't really what is the name? You can't really blame them. Yeah, so you just have to live as they are. Yeah, and do the necessary. So I noticed that there's no, I don't know if it's mercy or empathy. And the Nairobi people are not welcoming. Yeah, I can connect that to it. Nairobi people are not welcoming. It's here, it's like, it's strictly business, money, hustle culture, hustling. There's no, they have no time for stories apart from the weekends, you know. So unlike Mombasa, the people in it are willing to help. Like they have this some sort of humanity when you're in Mombasa, and Mombasa is chill. The town, when you go to the town, it's chill. When you're in Mombasa, you'll notice. I think there's some people who have noticed from Nairobi. They say that Mombasa is slow because they're used to the Nairobi CBD busyness of the town, because Nairobi people are always busy, the town is always full. Now when they come to Mombasa, they notice, oh, here Mombasa people are very chill, they're very slow. But I don't think we are slow, I just think it's the culture. But so yeah, I noticed that difference. I feel like Nairobi people can do better. Yeah, I get the fact that you can't trust anyone, but I feel like they should be more welcoming. Yeah, not obviously trusting anyone, but at least be more welcoming, more friendly. Obviously, what is the word? Like, don't always don't be fearful. Be fearful, yeah. Don't be fearful. Like, yeah, a lot of bad things are happening, but you can just tell someone, go somewhere, you get directions. Like, I don't know, but I think when you think about it, it's kind of hard for the Nairobi people to change. But so that's what I noticed, and that's what I experienced, and yeah. So another thing I wanted to point out is the street food. The Nairobi street food is not like Mombasa. Nairobi, they just sell mahindi chemsha, mahindi choma, what is this called? Viazi, and the viazis, they are big potato, 20 bob. Like, what is that? And then they sell smokies and kebab. But now, this was a difference. This was I noticed a difference with Nairobi, because in Mombasa, first of all, in your neighborhood, if you're not going to town, you can get viazi karai, potatoes, there's bajia, there's sambusa. You know, like when you're hungry and you want a snack before making supper, you can immediately just walk from the place you are in, like a 10 minutes walk, maybe 15-20, but it depends on the area. So where I was living in, we had local people who were selling those kind of snacks. But in Nairobi, hey, if you are from Mombasa, in Nairobi, snacks utakunazia, kuna snacks umeacha Mombasa. Nairobi, they are, I don't, they don't have, I don't know, it's because they don't know how to cook, but now it's because most people are not used to it, and most people from, I don't know even why, but yeah, that's the difference I noticed with the street food. The street food is mainly what I mentioned, but in Mombasa, even near your neighborhood, like where I used to live in Utawala, there's no one making sambusa on the streets, near the neighborhood. If you want sambusa, you want viazi karai, which is potatoes, you have to go to Naivas. Obviously, there was a Naivas near our place, like a 15 minutes walk, but I didn't want sambusa za Naivas, because Naivas, they sell only beef sambusa. They don't sell the other one, ndengu, and I prefer the dengu one, and they sell like 50, but I don't know how much they sell. Yeah, but in Mombasa, you can get like a sambusa for 5 bob in your local area, not mentioning town. Town, the prices are different. You can get viazi, you can get uji wa nazi, you know, you can get crisps za mhogo. You can, but there's mhogo in Nairobi. I used to miss those snacks. I was like, damn. But yeah, I don't know if they are Nairobi people, but I've come to realize Nairobians, they love the kebab, the mahindi choma, and they're okay with their kind of snacks. Yeah, so they don't see a big deal. But when you're from Mombasa, you can feel the change. It depends with where you live, maybe. Yeah. So that's another difference I saw, but it wasn't bad. Yeah, so those are the differences that I saw between Mombasa and Nairobi, as a Ben from Mombasa who has lived like her entire life, not her whole life. What am I saying? Like, I have lived most of my life. Yeah, most of my life in Mombasa, and living in Nairobi for 1 year, 6 months, 7 months. So that's the difference. So I cannot talk about the nightlife because I don't party. So I cannot give any reviews, but I've seen that Nairobi people like to party. Also, Mombasa people like to party, but I think maybe in Nairobi there are a bit more places that you can go to party and drink compared to Mombasa. Yeah, I see that's difference. But both areas, both counties, they do like partying. Yeah. So that's it for today's video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.